Yep.
Oh,
Bean, what exactly happened? Because they said you were leading it. What exactly happened?
Took photos of them selling drugs on the block. Got enough units to move in. They got into a car, drove off. Units chased for a bit, and then they drove back to the block and into the cubby. And Riker followed them in. They shot him down.
okay.
Yeah, how much units were on duty at that time? Like when you guys started up?
I don't know.
Okay, because I woke up like 30 minutes after storm. I saw your 3-1 about drug up Little Soul. I couldn't get in my pockets, but at that time there were like 8 to 10 units total. And I know we want to respond to drug calls, but I don't think we should be going into gang turf when there's a total of like 10 units on duty. I feel like the thing is that normally, right, if we have a larger number of units and we go in and we get shot down, it's like easier to bounce back from, and you can kind of convince people to, like, you know, all right guys, like, good try, like we could have done better, this, that, and the third. But on a Sunday when we already have low units and people typically already don't come around,
5, 6, 7,
if
8,
the first
9,
thing we do
11.
after a storm is go into Little Soul or like ADMC or Vespucci or wherever and try to, like, you know, push their fucking turf and get shot, I feel like it's just going to result on people going off duty, and then like the city has even less cops than we already had. I don't know. Maybe you have a different opinion. It's just the way I've always seen it.
I don't know. I think we had enough at the time because you were the 11th cop to go down. Me and Stevie were still up. There was like 2 or 3 other units still up, Selena
Can
and
you
whatnot.
have a photo? Do you mind?
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, I guess I just think we have a different concept of like what's appropriate units then. I don't think that
I think it was fine.
Ever,
I don't think units should have followed.
Shootout.
I don't think units should have followed them in.
For 2 to 1, right? Like even 2 to 1, I don't think is a good enough ratio. Like, I'm just gonna be frank with you. Some of those cops aren't even class 2 certed, so like they're not even a fucking human being at that point in a Little Soul shootout on rooftops and shit. So when we're talking about like numbers, not to mention, like, you know, by the time I was responding, there's already what, half of those cops down, right? So it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine up until units followed them back into the cubby and got shot.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I think we also have to consider, like, I don't want to like stop people from doing if they want to do drug ops, but when you always have to take a look at the dispatch, how much units we have, and be like, okay, we have 11 units on duty. Are we going to go try to bust the most violent gang in the city for some weed right now?
Yeah, and also, like, I think the way to cut through everything is Knight said, right? Little Soul equals shootout. So if you, as like, let's say a person who likes investigating drugs, go down there and take pictures, that's one thing, right? Documenting, you know, building a pattern, all this kind of stuff, getting maybe some license plates, you know, building up like identifications that way, things like that. But if you're going to go in and try to apprehend, you have to know that by doing so, you are almost certainly guaranteeing that every single cop is going to be involved and potentially shot. Because even if the chase goes to, well, like perfect, right? Actually, rephrase that. The perfect outcome of that chase is that you VCB and therefore they don't escalate. But if you guys do your job and you don't VCB, then those criminals and you apprehend the drug seller, they almost certainly know that with their history and with their status, that's going to mean a raid warrant. So then they're going to go all in to get that person back, which means everyone's getting shot. Like, I don't see a good outcome from pushing in and trying to apprehend someone with that little units on duty. Like I said, to me, the best outcome I can see is us VCBing, and that's not a good outcome to begin with.
Here's the thing. I think I think you led the scene, Bean. I think as soon as you read the situation in advance, be like, yo, if they go into the cubby, we bouncing out. You know what I mean? And this can be applied to everything.
And Riker has a history of that, so that's a whole other subject. It's not your fault, but we'll get into that.
you're not wrong. We have to assume this is gonna sound shitty, but I don't really give a fuck. You have to understand that most of our force is not trained to think, right? They're gonna do what's in front of them. It's our job to preemptively
I don't know.
let
It's
them
whatever.
know, because you know in the back of your head that might happen. You preemptively let everyone know, yo, if this shit go down, we bouncing.
I get
You know
what they mean, though.
That way, you're kind of hurting them. 'Cause even Riker going in, I don't know if he would have known not to do that.
Oh, he knows better. He knows way better.
Replace him with somebody else. Like it was
Somebody
Riker
else,
this
no,
time,
but
it'll be
Riker
somebody
knows
else
much
next
better.
time.
Yeah.
No, Grant's
Yeah,
not
for sure.
the bestie.
You
Fucking
get
whatever.
my point there, right?
He's just
I don't think
doesn't
we
want
need to
cops
dive
getting
any
shot.
deeper than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
We'll keep it in mind, going forward. Like,
I'm just, the only reason I'm like harping on this is because in the past, when we had super low unit numbers as a trend and as a commonplace, there was a pattern of people who wanted to investigate drug calls, setting up stakeouts, moving into apprehend, going deep into gang turf with like, again, like 6 to 10 units on duty. And, knowing for a fact that they were going to like bait everyone else into getting involved. And at a certain point, if other people don't want to only do shootouts, that kind of puts a hamper on anything else they want to do on patrol.
I think one of the reasons we kind of, I'll say we maybe overextended a little bit was because I was looking at the situation, are people selling drugs, got photos of one guy selling drugs, and he was going over, pulling out vehicles, going to trunks, and then putting them away and then selling more drugs. So I think once that started happening, we got like maybe a little bit too aggressive with it. But yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Yeah,
and that's the reason why they're gonna get crazy, right? It's like the same reason why we want to go in is the same reason why we know it's gonna be a shootout. So it's not a big deal. I'm not trying to be like negative. I just I want to make sure that we can preserve the unit numbers we do have on days like this. So not a big deal, bro. I'm just trying to look out for morale.
I want to give you something back though. Did you run the op for the weed down there?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna be rather upfront. I don't give a fuck about weed, but that doesn't mean I don't want people looking into it. Just I personally couldn't be bothered. However, whether it's the hidden down in the barrio, whether it is weed something up your alley? Let me start with that.
That means more the drug calls, going for them, and then see what you can build on top of it.
Let's start fuck chasing. I want us, both departments, start building up these patterns that Crane's talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, fuck getting them right then and there. That doesn't do anything. You catch them doesn't do anything, at least right now. Let's start building up fucking patterns. Let's start getting their fucking license plate. They hop in a vehicle, fuck chasing them. Just wait till you see that vehicle again, fucking run the plate, right? And let's figure out who's selling the drugs. And then let's get a fucking phone warrant and start like knowing who our real targets are. Now you know the targets. Wait till they fucking sell that shit again. We apprehend them when we got the numbers. And then we fucking kick not only their doors open, but some others. You kind of see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I get you.
It's been 2 years since we've been trying to shut shit like this down. It hasn't done anything. Let's step it up.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing too is that you got to remember that that garage that you see them going out into, that's a public garage. So it's not like it's a public garage. So it's not.
So?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there's
that
two
one.
of them.
So there's two. One is the LSBN.
Oh, not the cubby. Okay.
No, the Lucky Plucker is what it is.
Oh.
It's what it's called. It's called the Lucky Plucker Garage. If you look on your GPS, there's two right next to each other. One is LSBN, which is the diagonal parking spaces right in front of the building. Lucky Plucker is the one that's inside the old Burger Shot like drive-through area. Or whatever, not Burger Shot, whatever that fucking building was.
Do I have a good photo of this guy?
You see how there's that like curved road and then the garage is right on the inside of it? Lucky Plucker, that's where they pull all their cars out of. So it's really important, like Knight was saying, especially with a public garage, we have to get plates. Because it's not like we can just say, hey, this house is being used for whatever. let us search the vehicles parked in this, house parking lot. This is public, so we have to physically identify and prove to the judges whose car is being used. And if we do that, we can probably get a raid warrant literally just off surveillance. Because if you just go, hey, look, here's a vehicle in a public garage, which, by the way, can only be pulled out by the owner. Here's the plate. Here's who the owner is. Here's a person going into that car multiple times, then running over, and then you can see them making handoffs, or you can see the drug sale calls coming. Like, that kind of shit is damning. And that hits them way harder than, whatever the fuck. But
Good, friend.
anyway, I'm not harping on this shit too long.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It's kind of like we're rolling the dice on hitting one of like 50 of their grinders. You know what I mean?
Right.
Instead of let's get a target going type shit.
They're starting to bring some of those guys to shootouts, by the way.
Oh, that's even better.
Something to pay attention to. This guy fucking... Remember Night when you called out the manor in Sandy the other day for me? That thing? That bank truck? You were on a rock and you were calling out them rotating?
Yeah.
One of the guys we arrested from the Besties is like a not known member. His name was like Alex Jovanovich or something. And I have never seen him on jobs. This guy only, I've only seen him as like a, like hanging out on the block type dude. So the fact that he's starting to show up like in the 6 is interesting.
How do you spell his second name?
I don't fucking know, actually. You'd have to look. It's I think
Also,
it's like
I think I should be on that report. I should be on the shooting report because I was near one. 1 second.
Night, I'm also doing